Welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. Please consider this video entertainment. Today I'm talking about United Parcel Service, or UPS, around $84. Today is October 1st, after market close. We got a 7.85% dividend yield, which is real nice. Price to earnings of 12.42. We'll look at that in a minute. Quarterly, we've got steady income. Annually, we have steady income. Mostly United States, some international. And our cash flow is, free cash flow is down here in this latest quarter. We look at this annually. Where 2024 was a little up from 23. We've got some liabilities. This is the statistics tab. And if I look at our common shares outstanding, we are increasing, which I don't prefer to see. But our price to earnings, it's 12.5 here, which is historically pretty low. Price to sales, 0.78, historically pretty low. Price to cash flow, 9.46, historically pretty low. Price to book, $4.50, historically really low. So that is all good. If I jump into this quarterly, our return on assets has been around just over 8%. Return on equity has been around 35%. Return on invested capital has been around 14%, so it's been real steady quarterly. Our net margin it's very, medium. Quarter over quarter, it's been higher, it's been lower. But the last 2 quarters, it's up. If I go to the statements and we look at the cash flow, we've got some free cash flow year over year. They have been investing in the company, not so much in 2024, but in 23, 22, 21, 20, a lot of money. Cash from operating activities year over year is a little down. We'd like to see this be up more. Now here is a monthly chart of UPS divided by the S&P 500, and this looks like an incredible value. So the lower this is, the cheaper UPS is compared to the S&P 500. This thing is historically low. There's our weekly downward trend. I want to jump into this on a monthly channel, and I'm just going to let you know that this channel, I think, is probably not great. All right, so we got maybe a monthly channel like this. Where this bottom line should be, I don't know. That could be it. It's got a decent midpoint line. We are as far below our moving averages as we have been. If I just measure this real quick. On a monthly, we could go a little lower here. All right. But well below our midpoint lines. We've never really gotten below the 200, we've only had it recently. If I go to the weekly, so we are well below all our moving averages. It's been quite some time since we broke down this far. Go back through time. It's pretty bad. Definitely not below the 200. So this looks pretty bullish for me. We're starting to get some candle tails down here on the weekly. If we jump into the daily, we are now below all our moving averages. If I look at this line here, this distance below the 200, we have been further. And that could get us down to this gap, which is around 75. So that gap makes me nervous. We've got a couple different trend lines like this we need to break. All right. So back to the weekly. And I'm going to, again, I don't love this monthly channel. So I'm going to go through some channels like this. So on the weekly, you can say we're going back to 2009. We have been moving in this kind of channel right here. And then we broke down out of it, but then it gets kind of valid again up here. All right, so then we could also have a weekly channel like this we were in. It's like this thing just shifts through different channels. Okay, now we've got a shift or a channel kind of like that we worked through. Finally, a channel like this we were working in. A downward channel like right here currently. And then finally, are we in this little day channel? Hard to say. All right, let's go back to the monthly. We can look at our points of control. So this is our volume profiles. Okay, we got them all up there. So we have this monthly volume profile down here around 75, where we have the daily gap right down here around 75. If I go to a weekly, now we've got a point of control, short and medium term right here, where we're at, or short, medium term right here, short term up here, and longer term even higher. And then finally to the daily, all our points of control are right here, this nice gap above us. And you can see the increased volume around this gap, increased volume here, increased volume through here, right through here, some nice areas. All right. Let's go to the weekly. And I'm doing a retracement, a Fibonacci retracement from this bottom to the top right here. So this bottom to this top, and we've got real clean lines. So if we come down here, this is 2 is beautiful. 618, this 1, 618, the 2, the 1, the 786. We expand this in here. We got touches there on our 618, the 0.5, the 382, the 236. And we are now on this giant retracement, broken down to the 2414, and in between that and the 2618. You can do another retracement, which has some commonalities right here. Let's hide the first one, just leave the second one. Now I'm going from the bottom here to the top, and this is a thing of beauty. You know, this is one full retracement. 786 is strong. 618, the 0.5, I really love this one right here. Now, do we get down to the, let's get to the extension. Hold on, next. Finally, if I do a short term, let's go on a day chart, and we're going to do an extension from this bottom to this top. Probably make that a little better. We are down here approaching this 618, 1618. This looks good. 786. I mean, these are pretty decent lines. Now, if I do a Fibonacci extension from this bottom to this top to this bottom, this is pretty nice. You get the 0.5, the 618, the 786. Everything is just touching 382, and the top's the 1618. If we look up here further, this 2618 is right on. This blue one, what is that? The 3 is real pretty. That's real pretty. And then the 4 up here. So this is a nice little short-term extension. Now, if I do the longer-term extension, let me get rid of this channel. So I go from the bottom to this top to the bottom. It's super pretty. Look at these lines. Let me bring this in a little closer. 382 is looking real nice. It's the 236. Here's the 382, the yellow. Is super pretty. 0.5, the 0.618, the 786 is really works out nice. All right. If I jump into the parabolic SAR super trend, it's all bullish on the monthly or bearish on the monthly, but our RSI is getting way down here. It's been a long downward trend. Same thing with the MACD. The MACD hasn't been this low. RSI has been a little lower. And then we've got this downward sloping stochastic. So this all looks set to make a reversal. I look at this on the weekly. It's all bearish here. We're continuing our downtrend. Maybe threatening the crossover on the RSI. The MACD threatening the crossover. The stochastic's pretty buried. Finally, on the daily, still bearish up here, but we're having a slight upward RSI trend, and we came out of oversold. Our MACD is just crossing over up, and our stochastic is trending up. So this is real positive. Here's our RSI Bollinger Band strategy, and it's not mine. I just use it. We're below the moving average. Our money flow index, this is monthly, is just bottomed out and due for a reversal. We've got a slight trend, and that would probably be downward right now with ADX over 20, and squeeze momentum looks bearish. On the weekly, we are now at the bottom of our Bollinger Band. Money flow is headed down, but we've kind of got a double bottom here. Squeeze momentum is still bearish, and ADX is still a slight downward trend. Finally, if I go to the daily, not a lot going on here in this Bollinger Band. Money flow is starting to move up. Squeeze momentum's finally starting to get ready to turn bullish. And our ADX is around 30. It's not really saying much. I think this is an interesting stock. Could it go lower? Yes, it could. We've got these gaps below us, but gaps above us. So I think just keep an eye on this and keep an eye. Like this, let's take this down to, well, give me a thumbs up and thank you.